Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reader from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today I'm going to answer the question, how to do fasting for beginners. I'm so excited that you're here that I can share with you God's recipe for excellent health, and that includes 3 things that I get to teach you. Number 1, how to be confident in your health, which is what we're going to go over today. Number 2 is how to be confident in the kitchen, which is why I love to share with you our cooking videos and our grocery discovery videos. And number 3 is how to understand how much God loves you. He loves you with an amazing, everlasting love. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And we can learn how much His love means to us by studying His Word. And how you were created from the moment you were conceived in the womb, God has loved you, and He has a purpose for your life. And the way you were born, the way He made you, is for a purpose, just as it is. So thanks for letting me share with you these videos. And today, it's all about how to do fasting for beginners. But before we get started, 2 things I want to share with you. Number 1, if you would like me to answer your questions, as you join our private Facebook group, Biblical Nutrition Academy, you can put in the question line what question you would like me to answer. And that's where we gather these questions from. Now, if you say, Annette, I do not like Facebook, I totally respect that. So just send us an email at info@thebiblicalnutritionist.com. In the subject line, it needs to say, question for Annette. And we look forward to reading your question. Now, the second reason why I like making these Q&A videos is because I just love to give away products. And today's product is no exception. In fact, I just discovered this about 6 months ago. This is called Restore. It's a 5-in-1 nootropic product. So we're talking gut microbiome rebuilding, pre and probiotics. We're talking nutrients to help cleanse your liver and your kidneys on a daily basis. We're talking about enzymes to help you to digest and to remove toxins. It's an incredible product. And remember, everything I teach you is rebuilding that microbiome. So we can then think better. We can have our prayers. You can pray no matter what health you're in. Totally, that's true. But sometimes we just lose focus in our prayer time. So having a healthy microbiome just helps us to focus. And don't you just want better focus when you're praying? Or am I the only one who gets distracted during prayer time? So Restore is for your gut and your brain together in one. So incredible product. I'm super excited to have found it. Now, at the end of today's video, I'm just going to give this away for free and no shipping or anything. No fees whatsoever on your part. All I'm asking you to do is to go to Amazon or our website and leave a review of one of my mini books. I go through there and I pull out the different reviews and I put your name in a drawing for these giveaways. And it means a lot to me that you would take the time, 1, to read my books, and 2, to write a review. So I like to reward you with free gifts. So wait till the end of this video to see who is going to get this product for free today. And if you're like, Annette, I don't want to wait to write a review to get it free, I'll put a link to it down below, plus a coupon that you can get some money off on it. I love to save money, and I'm sure you do too. Today I'm going to answer your questions on how to do fasting for beginners. Eve asked about fasting and electrolytes, and she says, Annette, thank you so much for making these detailed videos about fasting. I've never heard anything so detailed, purposeful, and inspiring that involves fasting, so it's new to me. And I wholeheartedly appreciate it, and I'm excited to start with it. I wanted to ask you if prolonged fasting requires for women in particular to replenish their electrolytes, and how would you be wiser taking them during fasting? Thank you once again, submitted by Eva. When a person fasts, and I'm assuming this is a water fast, it's very important in today's world to make note of how you're feeling, both physically and with energy and also mentally. Because of a very depleted microbiome, fasting can become more difficult for some people than others. Now, because of this, it's important to consider drinking lemon water, which is a tiny pinch of salt, not Morton salt, but I'm talking real salt, And if you are doing a prolonged fast, consider making some homemade bone broth and making it a bone broth fast instead. Using a bone broth during your fast is going to keep the minerals supplied, and I believe you're just going to be able to focus more on the spiritual reason for the fast, and then let the physical reasons be a side blessing. A question was asked, my concern is how do you go off of a fast safely and what food should you eat as you are coming off the fast? This is submitted by Maria. Well, let me just share a story. When my husband and I did our first official fast, we were fasting because of a loss of job, basically. So I convinced my husband, let's borrow a pop-up camper from our friends. Let's go to a state park and let's spend the night for 2 nights and 3 days. Well, he kind of gave in and said, okay, we'll do it. So we took the pop-up camper to the campground and we popped it up. I mean, it takes little time at all to set up a campsite when you don't have food involved. All we have is water bottles. And so then we would go off during the day and we would take our water bottles and he'd go one place, I'd go another place. We just go dream. We'd go pray and just write notes and just see what God wanted to do in our life. Well, we did this for 3 days. The last day was a little short, but because he said, okay, be here at 10 a.m. and let's pull out. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. That's good. I was just happy that he did it. And so at the end of the time, we met at the camper and I thought we'd take time to take the campsite apart, load everything up. But no, he already had everything loaded up ready. He was ready to hightail it out of there. And so we pull out of the parking lot and we're headed down the highway. And all of a sudden he pulls in and I look up, oh, it's a steakhouse. It's like, I said, I didn't even see this on the way in. And he says, well, I saw it and I had a plan. And so he totally can plan his life around food. And so we went into the steakhouse and it was called Ryan's Steakhouse. I don't even think they exist anymore, but it's a buffet. And it's one buffet after another. You've got the ice cream bar, you got the food bar, you got the pasta bar. I mean, you get the picture. I'm thinking, uh-oh, this is going to be trouble. He's thinking this is, like heaven after a fast. Well, he did overeat and he was very miserable. So what we eat after a fast, our stomach has had time to digest. Our stomach has had time to clear out and now it's ready to take in. So we want to feed our body very nutrient-rich foods, but not at a high level so that we have time to start functioning well again. Another example of this was shown on the TV show Survivor. There was this football coach, NFL football coach, who was on the team, and then they won a reward. And the reward was a food banquet. And so this man, he came to Survivor in really good shape. And so I wasn't expecting this, but when he got to the buffet that he had won that reward for, he just started gorging himself on food. And as I'm watching this, I said to my husband, I said, we need to see how he feels tonight after doing this. I mean, I can't imagine that he's going to feel very good after pretty much starving for, I forget, 7 or 8 days. And then he gets this reward and he gorges himself. So now also very interesting on this show, another person who was in the same reward with the same food, who had been pretty much starving for about 7 or 8 days and then earned this reward of all the food they can eat. She ate a normal amount of food for a normal person. And she already was in shape when she came on the show. She was maintaining her shape pretty well with the lack of food. But then when she got to the reward, I watched her. She ate at a slow pace and she let food be on her plate that she didn't finish. So like there was a half of a hamburger left over, and what she ate was a very healthy serving for just a regular person. And then when she was done, she pushed it aside and she stayed engaged in the conversation. Whereas the other guy just kept eating and trying not to get engaged in conversation because he just wanted the food. Well, that night you could tell she was plenty satisfied and she was very much in a very healthy state. Whereas that night, he almost had to go home because he got so sick from overeating. So how we eat after a fast is very important. Look for nutritious foods. I mean, if you want to put some like rules to it, I would do 50% raw. I would avoid high fat. I would avoid casseroles, and I would just eat as healthy as possible. And I would do that for 2 to 3 days. And then decide, is it worth going back to your old way of eating, or are you happy the way you are? Because a fast can reset our metabolism, and it can reset our mindset and our appetite signals. So use it to your advantage to really step into a better eating plan. Ending a fast is about eating in a way that the body will be nourished, yet not stressed. A question was asked, if one is fasting and detoxing, should we also do enemas in order for the toxins to come out and to avoid the absorption of these toxins back into the bloodstream? This was submitted by Daniela. Well, I'm not against coffee enemas because several of the physicians that I refer people to use this practice. Yet there's also this microbiome, and our microbiome is in every single part of your body, even the lower GI. And sometimes enemas can disrupt the microbiome and can cause an imbalance. As long as you are removing and eliminating through your bowels twice a day a healthy amount of stool and your kidneys are functioning in a healthy manner, then toxins are being removed. Now, I'll add a link to 2 products that help with this elimination phase if you're having difficulty. One is the product Restore, which is just a perfect combination of pre and probiotics, enzymes, and some milk thistle and some kidney cleansing nutrients. And the other one is Release. Release just helps people who are having trouble with constipation, because we do want to eliminate as best we can every single day of our life. Now, another issue is to think about your skin. Your skin is your largest detox system. So doing a sauna where you start sweating out some of the toxins, or do dry brushing, and that's another way to eliminate, kind of to slough off the dead skin cells, to invigorate the lymphatic system. So these would be a good additions to, how to get rid of the toxins that are in our body. After fasting, start with easing back into food. Eat by the 3 principles, and if possible, make it 50% raw. Enjoy a large salad with some chickpeas or some hummus on top. Enjoy a bowl of homemade vegetable soup or something super nutritious but not heavy. Do not end your fast by going to the Olive Garden and starting with appetizer with breadsticks, your meal with breadsticks, and then your dessert is breadsticks. That's going to bring a lot of upset for many people. Well, thank you for asking these questions about fasting, and these were very thoughtful questions. So you're really trying to hone in on experiencing God's recipe for excellent health. And yes, sometimes the recipe includes no recipe. In other words, fasting. Now, it's time to tell you, if you want to join our Facebook group, Biblical Nutrition Academy, when you join, you get to ask your question and we answer it here on the videos. If you say, I don't like Facebook, then just send us an email. Now it's time for our winner. As I told you already, and we talked about it in the video, the product Restore. I'm going to put a link to it down below, and included in that link we'll have a $10 off coupon, because we need to save money everywhere we can. This product it helps to cleanse your liver, cleanse your kidneys, rebuild the microbiome. It gives you all of the enzymes for digesting, the pre and probiotic. It's called 5-in-1. And when I saw it, I'm like, okay, that is totally the bomb for restoring your health. Very well labeled and very easy to understand why it's so good. Now, this product, I'm going to be shipping this free to Crystal Barrett. Crystal, you left a review on our books, and I just want to thank you for that. So this will be shipping out to you. But you need to send us an email at info@thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and then put in the subject line, winner number 112. In your body of the email, be sure and give us your address so we can ship this out to you as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone, for letting me share with you God's recipe for excellent health. Have a wonderful Amen day.